In the spotlight tonight is Neil Crockford from Colchester, a translator. His specialist subject is the novels of Raymond Queneau. Kevin Finnan from Dublin, an accountant taking Ireland during World War II as his subject. Indrani Hettiaratchi from Newcastle upon Tyne, a piano teacher, and her subject is Marie Curie. And Laurence Inman from Birmingham, a writer, and his subject, the history plays of Shakespeare. I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind. For those of you that need reminding, here's how it works. Each contender has chosen a specialist subject, and that's the first round. The second round is based on general knowledge questions, and the winner tonight is in the running to become Mastermind champion. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Neil Crockford.
Your occupation?
I'm a translator.
And your chosen subject?
The novels of Raymond Queneau.
Novels of Raymond Queneau in 2 minutes, starting now. Which novel by Queneau was adapted as a film directed by Louis Malle in 1960?
Zazie dans le métro.
Correct. In Loin de Ruée, which insect appears as a persistent motif?
The louse.
Yes. Queneau's novels Saint-Glinglin incorporated revised versions of which two earlier novels?
Girl de Pierre and Tom.
Correct. Which Shakespearean character's name, when translated into French, provides the name of the hero in Queneau's Un Rue d'Hiver?
Hamlet.
Correct. Queneau once claimed that his first novel, Le Chien d'Or, was begun as a translation into modern French of which 17th century philosophical treatise?
Descartes' Discourse on Method.
Yes. In Pierrot, mon ami, one of Pierrot's travelling companions, Mensonge, is an ape. What is the other? Pistolet.
Wild boar.
Yes. In Les Fleurs Bleues, what is the name of the bar where Citronnin goes to meet Albert the Pimp?
Barbiture.
Correct. What term did Queneau coin in Bâton, Chiffres et Lettres for his phonetic transcriptions of spoken French?
Troisième français.
Yes. In Zazie dans le métro, what essential item does Gabriel leave behind on his way to work his first night shift after Zazie's arrival?
His lipstick.
Yes. In Le Dimanche de la Vie, what is peculiar about Valentin and Julia's honeymoon?
Only the husband goes on it.
Yes. The Encyclopedia of the Inexact Sciences in Les Enfants du Limon chronicles the work of which obscure and marginal writers?
The Fou littéraire.
Yes. Queneau's semi-autobiographical novel Odile presents a satirical depiction of his association with which art movement?
The surrealist.
Yes. In Le Chien d'Or, what punishment is meted out to the dog Jupiter for having fallen into an open grave?
He's hanged on the washing line.
He is. In intervals of how many years does the Duke travel through time in Les Fleurs Bleues?
175.
Yes. In Le Chien d'Or, what is the address of Madame Cloche that itself reflects the number of sections into which the text is divided?
91 Rue du Paradis.
Correct. Under what Irish female pseudonym did Queneau write two of his novels?
Sally Mara.
Sally Mara is right. Neil Crockford, no passes. You got them all right. 16 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Kevin Finnan.
Your occupation?
An accountant.
And your chosen subject?
Ireland during the Second World War.
2 minutes on Ireland during the Second World War, starting now. By what official name were the war years known in Ireland during which the country remained neutral?
The emergency.
Yes. Who was the deputy leader of Fine Gael who resigned from his party in 1942 in protest at Ireland's neutrality?
James Dillon.
Yes. Which part of Dublin was the worst affected on the 31st of May 41 when a German bomb killed over 30 people and left hundreds homeless?
The North Strand.
Yes. Who was the German ambassador in Dublin to whom de Valera offered formal condolences on Hitler's death?
Edward Hempel.
Yes. What was the real name of the former wrestler known as Atlas the Strong, who was a German agent in Ireland?
Ernst Farbadrol.
Yes. Also known as the Artuf Plan, what was the code name for the plan of 1940 for an IRA-supported invasion of Ireland by Germany?
Plan Kathleen. magazine.
Yes, during wartime rationing, what nickname was given to the inspector who checked that homes were not overusing gas or coal?
The Glimmer Man.
Yes, in February 1944, who was the American ambassador in Dublin who requested the recall of Axis representatives but was refused?
David Gray.
Correct. Which Irish vessel was sunk with the loss of 12 crew after being attacked by aircraft off Cape Clare, County Cork, in October 1940?
The Kerry Head.
Yes, who was the Minister of Supplies who oversaw the rationing of petrol, gas and several basic foodstuffs?
Sean the Mass.
Correct. Where in Dublin was the National Arsenal, which was raided by the IRA in December 1939?
Magazine Fort.
Yes, in Phoenix Park. De Valera spoke of an Ireland filled with the romping of sturdy children and the laughter of what in his St. Patrick's Day address of 1943?
Athletic Youth.
Comely maidens. Which German spy landed on Irish soil in March 1941 carrying cognac, a sausage and his infamous microdot code?
Gunter Schultz.
Yes, which harbour in County Limerick served the Allies as a transatlantic flying boat station?
Foynes.
Yes, who was the IRA Chief of Staff who died in August 1940 while travelling in a German U-boat?
Sean Russell.
Yes, in October 1939, which politician questioned the legality of Ireland's neutrality, claiming they're at war but skulking?
Winston Churchill.
Correct. What collective... I've started, so I'll finish. What collective name was given to the ports that Ireland had retrieved from Britain in 1938 and denied to the Allies in wartime?
The Treaty Ports.
The treaty ports it is. Kevin Finnan, no passes again. 16 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Indrani Hettiaratchi,
Your occupation?
piano teacher.
And your chosen subject?
The life and work of Marie Curie.
Marie Curie. In 2 minutes, starting now. What is Marie Curie's full baptismal name?
Maria Salomea Stadowska.
Correct. What name was given to the underground educational academy whose classes she attended in Warsaw?
The Floating University.
Correct. Shortly after starting work on a doctorate, which element discovered by Ernst Jacob Berzelius did Marie find gave off rays like those that Becquerel had observed from uranium?
Polonium.
Thorium. In May 1912, which author, a member of a delegation of Polish professors, addressed her with an appeal to return to her native land?
Pass.
After the First World War, Marie served on which body of the League of Nations?
The Commission on Intellectual Cooperation.
Correct. What kind of establishment was her mother running at an apartment in Fretter Street, Warsaw, when Marie was born?
Boarding school.
Yes. Which element obtained from the breakdown of pitch blende were Marie and her husband Pierre working on when they discovered polonium?
Radium.
Bismuth. In the autumn of 1913, which English university presented her with an honorary doctorate?
Birmingham.
Correct. Which publication broke the news of Marie's affair with the physicist Paul Langevin on the 4th of November 1911?
Louvre.
Le Journal. In December 1933, X-ray photographs revealed that she was suffering from which condition?
A kidney complaint.
Gallstones. Who, along with Marie and Pierre, was named as a co-author of the paper announcing the discovery of radium?
Raymond.
Yes. Along with Jean Perrin, which Dean of the Faculty of Sciences at the Sorbonne was charged with delivering to Marie the news of her husband's death?
Paul Apple.
Correct. Who became the first director of the Radium Institute in Warsaw after having been a leading light in its establishment?
Andrew Debiel.
Her sister, Bronia. In a letter to Sir Ernest Rutherford, Marie launched a blistering attack on which British scientist and Nobel Prize winner who denigrated her work on the atomic weight of radium?
William Ramsay.
Correct. Which American journalist who became a devoted friend did Marie first meet in May 1920 when she granted her a rare private interview?
Mary Maloney.
Mary Maloney is correct. You had one pass. It was Sienkiewicz who was a member of that delegation of Polish professors. One pass. Indrani Hettiaratchi, 9 points. And our final contender, please. And your name?
Laurence Inman.
Your occupation?
Writer.
And your chosen subject?
Shakespeare's history plays.
Shakespeare's history plays in 2 minutes. Before which besieged town does Henry V make his speech beginning once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more?
Harfleur.
Correct. Falstaff compares who in his youth to a forked radish in Henry IV Part 2?
Bardolph.
Shallow, just as shallow. In Richard III, whose ghost is the first to appear before the sleeping king, saying, "Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow."
Clarence.
Edward, Prince of Wales. In King John, what disguise has Arthur adopted when he's killed leaping from the castle walls while trying to escape?
The shepherd.
Ship's boy. At the Battle of Shrewsbury, what does Hal find instead when he tries to draw Falstaff's sword?
Pass.
The prologue to which play begins with the words, "I come no more to make you laugh, things now that bear a weighty and a serious brow."
Henry VIII.
Yes, to which mythical figure is Henry VI compared shortly before Gloucester stabs him to death?
An angel.
Daedalus, who says during conversation with the Bishop of Carlisle and O'Mell, "Not all the water in the rough, rude sea can wash the balm off from an anointed king"?
Duchess of York.
Richard II, in Henry VI, Part 1, who pretends to be the Dauphin in an attempt to test Joan of Arc's skill?
Renier.
Yes. What reason does the Duke of Clarence give when he's asked by Gloucester upon what cause he's being conveyed to the Tower in the opening scene of Richard III?
His name begins with G.
My name is George, yes. In Henry VI, Part 2, who claims to have had his sight miraculously restored by St. Alban?
Sander Simcox.
Correct. In Richard II, whose last words are, "Love they to live that love and honour have"?
O'Mell.
John of Gaunt. Which line describing Queen Margaret in Henry VI, Part 3 is parodied by Robert Greene in his tirade against Shakespeare for being a player?
Pass.
Henry V, who describes the death of Falstaff and says that he is now in Arthur's bosom?
Mistress Quickly.
Yes. What is the name of the chamber in which Henry IV dies, thereby fulfilling a prophecy?
Jerusalem.
Yes. In Richard III, which town does Henry, Earl of Richmond, say is but one day's march from Leicester during his speech? I'll finish the question to his followers shortly before the Battle of Bosworth.
Coventry.
Tamworth. 2 passes. "O tiger's heart wrapped in a woman's hide" is the line describing Queen Margaret. And what Hal found instead of a sword was a bottle of sack. 2 passes, Laurence Inman, 7 points. So that's the end of the first round. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points, Laurence Inman. In 3rd place with 9 points, Indrani Hettiaratchi. In joint 1st place with 16 points, Neil Crockford and Kevin Finnan. Which takes us to our general knowledge round, and if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. And it's pretty close at the moment. So let's get on with general knowledge and ask Laurence Inman to join us again, if he would, please. And you chose a subject with an enormous amount in it. The history plays of Shakespeare, a lot of them, and a lot in every single play.
There are, more than I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about the history plays, though, it's a bit... Did you accept that it's a bit misleading? You're tempted to believe that what Shakespeare wrote was history.
Yeah. He pulled a flanker on a number of historical figures, I think. But if the plays just consisted of topical relevance, they'd have lost their magic years ago, I think. You know, as I say, there are eternal themes there that never fail to astonish us and enlarge our lives.
And he was a dramatist and not an historian.
Exactly. He was also probably a brummie.
A brummie?
I run an organisation called SWAB. Stands for Shakespeare was a brummie.
How many members?
I'm not at liberty to say. We'd rather like you to be life president. Anybody as quick and inventive as Shakespeare must have been a brummie. All this Stratford business, it keeps their tourist industry going. But
well, you scored 7 points with your knowledge of the history plays. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. Starting now. Who described his boxing style as float like a butterfly, sting like a bee?
Muhammad Ali.
Correct. Which of the Apollo space missions was responsible for landing Armstrong and Aldrin on the moon in 1969?
11.
Yes. In literature, which shop is kept by Little Nell Trent's grandfather?
The Old Curiosity Shop.
Correct. Which notorious penal colony was situated on a rocky islet in the Atlantic Ocean just off the northern coast of French Guiana?
Devil's Island.
Yes. What general term is used for the programs that control the operation of a computer as distinct from actual components of the computer itself?
Software.
Correct. Which is the second largest of the Channel Islands?
Guernsey.
Yes. In Formula One motor racing, which position must a competitor in a Grand Prix achieve to be awarded just 1 point?
6th.
Eighth, which Conservative politician married the 60s model Sandra Paul in 1975 after meeting her at a Red Cross ball?
Michael Howard.
Correct. What's the usual English translation of the phrase Vivat Regina, part of the British coronation ceremony?
Long live the Queen.
Correct. Which UK charity for the homeless was set up after the screening of the television play Cathy Come Home in 1966?
Shelter.
Correct. What was the name of the liner sunk by German submarines in 1915 with a loss of over 1,000 lives?
Lusitania.
Correct. In which historic town in North Wales does the unitary authority of Gwynedd have its headquarters?
Bangor.
Carnarvon, who, in describing his work The Potato Eaters, said he wanted to paint the faces of the people the colour of a good dusty potato, unpeeled and natural.
Constable.
Van Gogh. Which singer-songwriter released the album God's Great Banana Skin in 1992?
Pass.
Who returned to football management after a season's absence when he took over from Graham Taylor at Aston Villa in May 2003?
Ron Atkinson.
David O'Leary. Whose plays include Bedroom Farce and Body Language?
Alan Ayckbourn.
Yes. Which major German port stands at the confluence of the Ulster and Elbe rivers?
Danzig.
Hamburg. Who was the subject of an exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery called Mad, Bad and Dangerous that ran from November 2002 to February 2003?
Byron.
Lord Byron it was. You had just one pass. The singer who released God's Great Banana Skin was Chris Rea. You've pulled up a lot. You now have a total of 19 points.
Thank you.
And now Indrani Hettiaratchi. And your name derives from Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And you have a very, very famous relative in Sri Lanka.
Yes, my aunt was the world's first female prime minister in Sri Lanka.
Mrs. Bandaranaike.
Yes.
And was she the kind of strong woman that Margaret Thatcher, we came to know Margaret Thatcher as? I mean, was she that kind of personality?
Yes, she was rather more ruthless, I should think.
More ruthless?
Yes, I think so.
One strong, driven woman to another, then Marie Curie. What was her great achievement, discovering radiation?
Yes, she discovered polonium, radium, and it was radium really that made her famous. They hoped it would cure cancer, and at the time it was greatly overrated because they used it in all sorts of things like face creams and medicines and just about anything. And they didn't realize how dangerous that radioactive substances was until people started to die of strange diseases.
Well, you know a huge amount about her, obviously. You have 9 points. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes. Who was Poet Laureate from 1972 until his death in May 1984?
John Benjamin?
Correct. According to the book of Genesis, whose wife was turned into a pillar of salt when she looked back at Sodom and Gomorrah?
Lot's wife.
Yes. Which is the densest planet of the solar system?
Jupiter?
No, Earth. Who held the post of Home Secretary from 1979 till 1983 when he was elevated to the House of Lords on receiving an hereditary peerage?
Pass.
Which operatic soprano features on the front of an Australian $100 banknote?
Nellie Melba?
Yes. Which craft entails the inlaying of multicoloured woods or other materials to produce a decorative effect?
Mosaic?
Marquetry. Which country has borders with Bolivia and Brazil to its north and east and with Argentina to its south and west?
Paraguay?
Correct. In which English city were the anti-slavery campaigner William Wilberforce and aviation pioneer Amy Johnson born?
In Birmingham?
Kingston upon Hull. France Gallup is the French equivalent of which British sporting body?
Pass.
Which word, now especially applied to a retired professor, originally meant honourably discharged from public duty?
Emeritus?
Yes. Which cartoon character was played by Robin Williams in a 1980 film?
Pass.
Which classic beef and vegetable sauce, known in Italy as ragu, takes its name from the capital of the Emilia-Romagna region?
Neapolitan?
Bolognese. Who wrote the poem The Charge of the Light Brigade?
Tennyson?
Yes. What name was given to the communist guerrillas who fought against South Vietnam and the United States between the late 50s and 1975?
Viet Cong?
Yes. King George VI was born and died in which royal residence?
Sandringham?
Yes. Which English novelist, poet and dramatist set most of his work in the fictional county of Wessex and was himself born in Dorset in 1840?
Thomas Hardy?
Correct. Who, as part of the celebrations of his 50th birthday in October 2002, had a mounting in Kyrgyzstan and a strain of tomato, among other things, named after him?
Tony Blair?
Vladimir Putin. What name is given to the side of a coin containing the head of or principal symbol?
The obverse.
The obverse is correct. You had 3 passes. The cartoon character played by Robin Williams was Popeye. The Jockey Club is the equivalent of the France Gallop. And Willie Whitelaw was Home Secretary and became Lord Whitelaw. 3 passes. Indrani, Hettiaratchi, you now have 19 points. And now Neil Crockford, please. And it's confession time, so I must admit that I've never read a book by Raymond Queneau, and I don't suppose I'm alone in that.
Not alone
country.
in this country. Very popular in France and hardly known here.
And that's because he's not the easiest.
It's not the easiest because of his interest in words, the puns, the references to French history and French topography, all of which make for a bit of a barrier. The nearest English writer to him, in lots of ways, is Lewis Carroll.
Ah.
But he, again, they were both mathematicians, they were both logicians.
But Carroll set out to write nonsense.
Carroll set out to tease logic as far as it would go, and arrived at nonsense. Queneau does the same sort of thing.
Well, you did remarkably well with your first round, 16 points. Let's see how you get on with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Who created the Larking family in a series of novels, the first of which was The Darling Buds of May?
Bernard Penrose.
H.E. Bates. Which word for the often superfluous trappings associated with an institution or activity is ultimately derived from the Greek for property apart from a dowry?
I don't know.
Mount Elbert in Colorado is the highest peak in which range of mountains?
The Rockies.
Yes. In cricket, what specific name is given to a ball bowled so that it pitches immediately under the batsman's bat?
A Yorker.
Yes. Which British newspapers printed almost simultaneously in London and 21 other cities?
The Financial Times.
Yes. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a line from which classic song?
As Time Goes By.
Yes. Which variety of apple is said to have been first grown in 1740 by George Kempster, a tailor from Woodstock in Oxfordshire?
The Blenheim Orange.
Yes. Herodias was the wife of Herod Antipas and the mother of which biblical dancer?
Salome.
Yes. What was the name of the Arkansas Development Corporation whose financial affairs caused Bill and Hillary Clinton considerable embarrassment during his presidency?
Whitewater.
Yes. Kapstadt is the Afrikaans name for which city?
Cape Town.
Yes. Which pianist and entertainer who was born in Denmark in 1909 was best known for his comedy sketches combining music and narrative?
Victor Borge.
Correct. Who became the first freely elected president of the Russian Federation in June 91?
Vladimir Putin.
Yeltsin, Boris Yeltsin. Which word from the Norwegian for bowl is used as a friendly salutation before drinking?
Skål.
Yes. Roger Fenton, who was born in Haywood near Rochdale in 1819, went to the Crimean War as the world's first accredited what?
War correspondent.
No photographer. Which former political party leader was MP for Yeovil from 1983 till 2001?
Jeremy Thorpe.
Paddy Ashdown. Which common fish measuring about 4 to 10 centimetres from nose to tail, I'll finish the question, is the smallest member of the carp family native to Britain?
The Tench.
The minnow. Just the one pass, the word for superfluous trappings, paraphernalia. Neil Crockford, you have 26 points. And finally, Kevin Finnan, please. What was it like in Ireland? I mean, you're too young to have lived through it yourself, but it must have been an extraordinary period.
It was my parents' generation, so I have the memory from my late father and my mother. It was an isolated country, physically isolated, and the people who had emigrated were gone. There wasn't much contact back. There was rationing, different rationing, and the stories of Irish rationing are different than those of British rationing.
And, of course, the big difference was you weren't being bombed.
Weren't being bombed, aside from the one you mentioned, the North Strand bombing and a number of other accidental bombings during the war. So the war didn't visit our shores. A number of the ships that were torpedoed, mainly the Athena, the survivors came ashore in Ireland, so the coastal communities would have seen the effect of it.
But it could have made a difference had
Yes.
Ireland weighed in on the side of...
It would have made a difference to the Battle of the Atlantic. That's the only theatre would have made a difference.
And that could have been significant given the importance of the Battle of the Atlantic.
Yes.
Well, you have 16 points. You have to beat 26 points. Let's see if you can do it. 2 minutes on general knowledge. Which derogatory word for an empty-headed but attractive woman is derived from the Italian for child?
Pass.
In the novel Treasure Island, what is the name of the marooned pirate who dreamed of toasted cheese?
Long John Silver.
Ben Gunn. Which baseball team finally banished the curse of Babe Ruth in 2004 when they won the World Series for the first time in 86 years?
The Boston Red Sox.
Yes, proverbially, what is the soul of wit?
Pass.
Which insects of the order Phasmidae get their common name because they resemble twigs of the plants on which most species live?
Housefly.
Stick insects, making up almost half of the population. Which is the largest ethnic group in Afghanistan?
Pashtuns.
Yes. Which motto meaning I serve appears on the crest of the Prince of Wales?
Ich Diem.
Yes. Which film musical starring Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood was set in No Name City during the California Gold Rush?
Paint Your Wagon.
Yes. In geology, which word derived from the Greek for carpenter is used to describe the large-scale processes that take place within the Earth's crust?
Lava.
Tectonics. Edward Lear is generally attributed with coining which term for a fork with two broad prongs and one sharp curved prong?
A fourchette.
Runcible spoon. Which singer was born Gordon Sumner on 2nd of October 1951 in Wallsend, Tyne and Wear?
Pass.
Which word for a person who's made to take the blame for the failings or misdeeds of another comes from a Jewish ritual performed in biblical times on the Day of Atonement?
Pass.
At the 1972 ceremony, Isaac Hayes won a Best Song Oscar for the theme from which film about a black detective?
Shaft.
Correct. The haddock is a member of which family of fish?
Pass.
Who announced his resignation as Archbishop of York in August 2004 and his return to life as a parish priest in Ilkley?
Pass.
Which vegetable is known as bindi on an Indian menu?
Cucumber.
Okra. What was Blackadder's first name in the various television series to feature the character?
Edmund.
Yes, in the normal layout, I've started start finish of a modern symphony orchestra, the back row is occupied by the percussion, timpani, tuba and which other brass instruments?
Euphonium.
Trombones. 6 passes. David Hope was the Archbishop of York. The haddock's a member of the cod family. Scapegoat is the person who's made to take the blame. That singer born in Wallsend, Tyne and Wear was Sting. Brevity is the soul of wit. And that word for an empty-headed woman derived from the Italian for child is bimbo. Kevin Finnan, 6 passes, a total of 22 points. So that's the end of the contest. Let's have a look at the scores. In joint third place with 19 points are Indrani, Hettiaratchi and Laurence Inman. In second place with 22 points, Kevin Finnan. And in first place with 26 points, Neil Crockford. Which means, of course, that Neil Crockford goes through to the next round. Congratulations to him. Do join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Imagine living in the darkness of the 16th century. Tonight on BBC Two, The Time Traveller's Guide to Elizabethan England with Dr. Ian Mortimer at 9. More about that in a moment.